Today I'm talking about the Venerators. You need to read it, you need to study it, and you need to outline it. But even after you've done all of that, and you know the framework of the Venerators real well, you'll still need some work. And one of the challenges of giving out the Venerators, we're talking about this outline of the Venerators, is knowing how to take down the walls that people naturally have when you're talking to them about spiritual or things or religion. And the other thing, how to avoid an argument. Key to the Venerators is understanding this. For the delivery of the Venerators is that you know that people generally have walls up when they're trying to, or when they're discussing religion and spiritual things. The way we use the Venerators is to say, look, no one knows what happens. I'm not saying I know what happens when you die. I know you don't know. But we're both people that are searching for the truth when it comes to this issue of what happens when we die. Now, for a Christian, that's hard to say because we have deep trust in Jesus, and to say we don't know sounds like it's blasphemy. But what I'm saying by not knowing is I've never experienced heaven. I've never experienced hell. I'm trusting in Jesus. And so this can kind of lay things out for you so it makes it easier to have this discussion with them. Maintain that position. Even if it comes to your confidence, you just say, well, my confidence is in Christ, not on my personal knowledge. That can help them because we're all sojourners in this world trying to discover, who we could trust. So that's really helpful. It's not blasphemy. You're just leveling the playing field so it's easier for them to relate to you. Because you are stating the truth that while we have deep confidence in Jesus, we haven't ever experienced these things. How to avoid the argument. The argument typically is, as soon as you state that you trust Jesus, you believe the Bible, people say, well, I don't believe that. Well, in the Venerators, as you level the playing field here, it is very simple to say, I know you don't believe the Bible, but you're still stuck trusting someone, and I have a basis for putting my trust in Jesus. What is your basis for the trust you have? Who do you trust? And why? And is that substantial? Because if you're going to be very critical of the scriptures and of Jesus, I would expect you to be honest enough to be equally as critical or cynical about even the things you believe. You should be that same harsh criteria you're using to determine that the Bible isn't true. Maybe you could take that same criticism to your own belief system. And so people will say to me, or have in the past, well, Cliff, I don't believe you could fit all those animals on Noah's Ark. And you simply can respond by saying, well, I trust Jesus. He believed those things happened. And that's where my trust lies, because Jesus believed those things. But let's get back to what you believe and why you believe it. Because I'm not going to get into discussion trying to answer everyone's, minutia style questions when they're just trying to find a reason not to believe the scriptures. I'm not going to address those, not because I don't have good answers to those things, but I'm sensing that the person really isn't looking for answers. They're truly simply looking for a way out. And I'm not going to provide that for them. I'm going to continue to see, I get that you don't believe in the scriptures, that's fine, but who do you trust? And why do you trust them? And will you use the same harsh criticism or critical analysis for your own belief system? And I would still encourage them to read the Venerators. I said read, study, and outline the Venerators. You need to read it multiple times. You need to understand the arguments. And then you need to be able to articulate them from off the top of your head. And I can. That we all die, something happens, no one knows what it is, and we're all stuck trusting someone. I know I don't know because My desires and my imagination doesn't create reality. So when I die, something will happen, but it will do me no good to simply speculate. I need to find someone who I can trust. And then you outline the various parts of the Venerators that discuss kind of these criteria for judging between each religion. And one of those is all religions point to Jesus. Isn't that interesting? Another one is, how were these religions formed? How did the religious leaders die? Who did they say they were? And understanding each one of those criteria that support or support a strategy for determining who you can trust. Now, in a sense, the game's rigged because truth is that way. It's very narrow, and as you work through each one of these criteria, that they'll obviously be led to either just flatly against all reason, rejecting religion altogether, or opting for another religion, or they'll realize they've just been backed into a corner, and the fact is, the only one you can trust with your soul is Jesus. So, we're trying to take down the wall. We're trying to, evening the playing field, and we're trying to avoid the argument by moving and shifting the argument from maybe they're saying they don't believe Jesus, they don't believe the Bible, then we shift it to, well then, what do you believe and who do you trust and why? And would you be willing to use that same harsh criteria for judging your belief system as you are with the Scriptures? I hope this is helpful, and as I state this, ask me questions. I will put this on Operation Deluge website and on Facebook. So ask me questions. I would really appreciate those. Thanks for watching.